Chapter 24. Addie and I agree to get together Tuesday night to write the speech. I'm still not sure how I got hauled into this, except that of the three of us, Skeezy, Joe, and me, I am the best with words, and also Addie probably figures I am the least likely to get flaky on her. The way it works is that all the candidates sit up on the stage in folding chairs, but it is only the presidential candidates who make speeches. The rest of us get to spend the whole time trying to look serious and remembering not to pick our noses or scratch in unseemly places. And of course, it is crucial to visit the John right before the assembly. I do not look forward to this event, as I have told Addie a whole handful of times. She keeps telling me, what do I have to worry about? I'm not the one giving the speech, which is about as close to sympathetic as Addie ever manages to get. Before I head over to Addie's house, having neatly worked a dinner invitation into the deal, I show up at Awkworth and Ames to put in my time. Mr. K is calling me Bobby now, except in front of customers, when he still calls me Mr. Goodspeed on account of putting on a good show, I figure. He's actually being nice to me, and when I make a mistake ringing up a customer's bill, he does not jump on me, or even turn his eyebrows into a V, but waits until the customer is gone and says in this calm voice, "Is something weighing on your mind today, Bobby?" I ask him what would give him that impression, and he replies to the effect that it is not like me to mess up, and besides which I have seemed a trifle distracted. I own up to girl trouble, at which he smiles, and then I tell him I have to go over to my friend's house later and help write a speech, and I do not know what to write. He gets out of me the whole story about the no-name party and how it came about, and the whole time he is shaking his head, which he switches to nodding when I tell him our party motto, "Sticks and stones may break our bones, but names will break our spirit." "That is so true," he says. "I believed every name I was called in school, and took them with me into the rest of my life. I wonder if I might have been a braver person if I hadn't been called a sissy so many times when I was young." He stops and gives this some thought, then goes on, "Well, there is no point in blaming others, although I do think names belong more to the people using them than the people on the receiving end. But what can we do? We're all so ready to believe the worst about ourselves. We just accept them without even thinking about what they mean, or even if they're true." The voice says, "Shoppers, the store will be closing in 15 minutes. And Mr. Kellerman goes, "Sorry I can't help you with your speech, Bobby." To which I say, "You already have." When I get to Addie's house, I tell her to shush before she even gets 5 words out, on account of having to write some stuff down. Addie sits there on her bed staring at me until I tell her to stop it, at which point she starts writing too. And just as I'm finishing up, her mother is calling from downstairs, "Dinner!" Later, Addie says to me, "What did you write, Bobby?" I hand her the pad of paper and she starts reading it, then hands it back and says, "Here, you read it to me." I go, "Why?" And she says, "Your handwriting is impossible," which I happen to know is not true. I figure she's got some other reason, but I do not wish to waste time trying to get it all out of her, so I just pick up the pad and start to read. It takes me a while, seeing as how I have written a lot, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, so I have to try and fix it while I'm talking. But Addie does not stop me. She just keeps sitting there, cross-legged on her bed, whilst I go on, and in the end she goes, "That's the speech, Bobby, and you've got to be the one to give it." "Me?" I squeak. "This isn't a speech, it's just notes. And anyway, you're the one running for president, and the presidential candidate is always the one to speak, and besides, there is no way I'm getting up in front of the whole school and giving a speech. Repeat, no way. And anyway, this is just notes." She waits for me to finish and says, "Look, Bobby, I've been working on my speech for over a week now, okay? You saw what I had last week. A lot of blah, blah, blah about democracy and the Constitution and the pledge. Even though you thought it was boring, I kept working on it over the weekend, and I was all set to convince you tonight that it was brilliant, and all you needed to do was help me refine it. But the truth is, and if you tell anybody this, I will kill you, I swear, my speech is a bunch of words, and your speech is brilliant. Okay, maybe it needs some work to become a speech, but I can help you with it and it will be brilliant. Anyway, you have to give it because it's all about you. It is? I go, surprised. I don't even see it. But the rules, we're the third party. We've already broken rules. Or maybe what we're doing is remaking them. Wait, I have this brilliant idea. Brilliant is Addie's new favorite word. She then tells me her brilliant idea, and I have to admit, it is good. All you have to do is make a few changes at the beginning of your speech, and it will work brilliantly, she assures me. I look down at the paper and try to imagine myself saying these words out loud, not just to Addie, but to all the kids and all the teachers at Paintbrush Falls Middle School. I break into a sweat and my stomach starts to hurt. We'll all be there, Addie says, seeing my hesitation. Skeezy and Joe and me will be up there with you, and we'll be a part of it. But the words, Bobby, they've got to come from you. Do you really think I can do it? Absolutely. You'll be brilliant. I look at Addie and see that she's being serious. Okay, I tell her. Okay. She smiles and says, Great, let's get to work.